The psychological effects of eternal recurrence. From a psychological perspective, eternal recurrence presents both challenges and opportunities for personal growth. The idea that one's life will repeat endlessly can evoke a range of emotions, from anxiety and despair to motivation and empowerment. How one interprets this concept largely depends on their outlook and psychological resilience. One potential psychological effect of eternal recurrence is heightened existential anxiety. The realization that every joy, failure, and hardship will be experienced again and again can lead to feelings of entrapment or helplessness. This thought may be particularly troubling for individuals who struggle with regret or dissatisfaction, as they may perceive themselves as prisoners of their past choices. Such a perspective can create an overwhelming sense of burden, making it difficult to move forward. Conversely, this concept can also serve as a catalyst for profound personal transformation. If every experience is inevitable, individuals may be more inclined to embrace their circumstances rather than resist them. This acceptance can lead to a shift in perspective, where challenges are viewed as necessary and meaningful, rather than as obstacles to be avoided. By acknowledging the inevitability of life's struggles, individuals develop greater emotional resilience and a deeper appreciation for the present moment. Another psychological effect of eternal recurrence is its impact on self-perception. If one is confronted with the idea that their current existence will repeat indefinitely, they may be compelled to evaluate whether they truly like the person they have become. This can lead to deep introspection, prompting individuals to make changes in their behavior, mindset, or lifestyle to align with their ideal selves. This process of self-examination can be uncomfortable, yet it is also a crucial step in personal development. Additionally, eternal recurrence encourages individuals to cultivate a mindset of mindfulness. Since every moment will be relived eternally, each experience takes on heightened significance. This awareness fosters greater appreciation for everyday life, as even the smallest interactions and choices become imbued with meaning. Practicing mindfulness in this way can enhance overall well-being, reducing stress and increasing one's sense of fulfillment. Moreover, this concept can inspire individuals to pursue their passions with greater urgency. If one is to relive their life indefinitely, there is no justification for postponing dreams or delaying personal aspirations. This realization can serve as a powerful motivator to take action, overcome fears, and fully engage in life's opportunities. By internalizing the principle of eternal recurrence, individuals may find the courage to pursue their most authentic desires. Lastly, the psychological effects of eternal recurrence depend largely on one's interpretation. Those who view it as a curse may feel trapped by their past, whereas those who see it as an opportunity may feel liberated to live with greater intentionality. By shifting one's perspective, eternal recurrence can transform from a source of anxiety into a tool for self-empowerment and meaning-making. 5. The implications of eternal recurrence for modern life. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions and superficial pleasures often dominate, the concept of eternal recurrence serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of living with purpose. The modern individual is often consumed by the pressures of work, social expectations, and technological overstimulation, making it easy to lose sight of what truly matters. By applying the principles of eternal recurrence, individuals can cultivate a more deliberate and meaningful approach to life. One major implication of this concept is the necessity of prioritizing what truly brings fulfillment. In a society driven by consumerism and external validation, many individuals pursue success, wealth, and status without considering whether these pursuits align with their deepest values. Eternal recurrence challenges this mindset, urging individuals to reflect on whether their daily routines and long-term goals contribute to a life worth repeating. Another modern application of this thought experiment is in the realm of relationships. In an era where social interactions are often shallow and transactional, the idea that one must relive each relationship endlessly encourages deeper emotional connections. This perspective fosters greater authenticity, empathy, and commitment, as individuals become more conscious of how they treat others and invest in their relationships. Additionally, eternal recurrence has significant implications for mental health. Many individuals struggle with feelings of regret, dissatisfaction, or fear of the future. By embracing the idea that life's struggles are inevitable and necessary, individuals can develop greater acceptance and resilience. This shift in mindset allows one to approach challenges with a sense of purpose rather than avoidance, ultimately leading to greater psychological well-being. From a broader societal perspective, the principles of eternal recurrence encourage ethical leadership, responsible decision-making, and sustainable living. If individuals and societies operated under the assumption that their actions would be repeated indefinitely, they might be more inclined to act with integrity, environmental consciousness, and long-term thinking. Ultimately, eternal recurrence serves as both a warning and an inspiration. It challenges individuals to live in a way that fosters personal growth, ethical responsibility, and deep fulfillment. By integrating this concept into modern life, individuals can cultivate a life they would willingly relive forever, ensuring that each moment is meaningful and intentional. 3. The role of eternal recurrence in personal responsibility. The concept of eternal recurrence forces individuals to confront their role in shaping their lives. If every moment is destined to repeat indefinitely, the responsibility for each action, thought, and decision becomes magnified. This notion eliminates any escape from accountability, as one cannot attribute their circumstances to fate, external forces, or random chance. Instead, it underscores the idea that individuals are the architects of their destinies, responsible for the construction of a life they would be willing to relive eternally. A major implication of this thought experiment is that it demands radical self-honesty. If one acknowledges that their choices will have to be endured forever, it becomes necessary to reevaluate one's values, priorities, and behaviors. This perspective encourages a more deliberate approach to life, pushing individuals to make decisions that align with their highest ideals. Rather than seeking excuses for failure or hardship, eternal recurrence invites individuals to own their past, present, and future fully. Furthermore, this concept shifts the focus from external validation to internal fulfillment. Many individuals make decisions based on societal expectations, cultural norms, or pressure from others. However, if one is to repeat their life endlessly, the opinions of others lose their significance. Instead, the emphasis is placed on self-determined values and intrinsic meaning. This realization compels individuals to act in ways that bring them genuine satisfaction and purpose, rather than conforming to transient social standards. Eternal recurrence also serves as a powerful motivator for ethical behavior. If every action and its consequences must be endured repeatedly, individuals may be more inclined to treat others with kindness, fairness, and integrity. Moral considerations take on a heightened importance, as any harm inflicted upon others must also be relived eternally. This perspective encourages greater empathy and accountability in personal and professional interactions, reinforcing the ethical dimensions of responsibility. At the same time, this idea confronts individuals with their past regrets. Many people carry unresolved guilt or remorse over past mistakes, yet eternal recurrence suggests that these events are inescapable. This can be a daunting realization, but it also presents an opportunity for reconciliation and growth. By accepting past failures as part of an unchangeable cycle, individuals can focus on learning from their experiences rather than dwelling on regret. This mindset fosters resilience and self-acceptance, ultimately leading to greater personal freedom. One of the most profound lessons of eternal recurrence is the importance of consistency in action. If one were to live the same life repeatedly, the pursuit of discipline, growth, and self-improvement would become essential. This perspective encourages individuals to approach life with intentionality, making each day meaningful rather than allowing it to pass unnoticed. By adopting this mindset, individuals cultivate a greater sense of purpose and direction. Finally, the notion of eternal recurrence serves as a reminder that time is not to be wasted. If every experience is destined to be repeated, it becomes imperative to make choices that contribute to long-term fulfillment. Whether it involves cultivating meaningful relationships, pursuing creative passions, or engaging in acts of service, this concept urges individuals to live in a way that they would gladly repeat for eternity. The Bardo Thodol, or Tibetan Book of the Dead, is a cornerstone of Vajrayana Buddhist philosophy, offering a meticulous map of the journey through death, intermediate states, and rebirth. Its teachings transcend cultural and temporal boundaries, serving as both a spiritual guide and a psychological treatise. Rooted in the esoteric traditions of Tibetan Buddhism, the text is believed to have been composed in the 8th century by Padmasambhava, the legendary Indian sage who introduced Tantric Buddhism to Tibet. Padmasambhava, known as Guru Rinpoche, concealed these teachings as terma, hidden treasures, meant to be revealed when humanity was spiritually prepared. This concealment and subsequent discovery by the Territon Karma Lingpa in the 14th century imbue the text with an aura of sacred mystery, positioning it as a revelation tailored to the needs of future generations. The Bardo Thodol is not merely a funerary manual, but a comprehensive exploration of consciousness designed to illuminate the nature of existence itself. The term Bardo Thodol translates to liberation through hearing in the intermediate state, emphasizing the transformative power of auditory guidance during the liminal phases between death and rebirth. The text recitation is a ritual act intended to awaken the deceased to the illusory nature of their experiences and guide them toward liberation, nirvana, rather than perpetuating the cycle of samsara, rebirth. Its teachings are grounded in the Mahayana Buddhist principles of emptiness, shunyata, impermanence, anicca, and the interdependence of all phenomena. However, it uniquely integrates tantric practices, including deity yoga and mantra recitation, to facilitate direct recognition of the mind's luminous nature. The Bardo Thodol thus bridges exoteric doctrines and esoteric practices, offering a pragmatic path to enlightenment that is accessible even in the throes of death. The historical context of the Bardo Thodol is deeply intertwined with Tibet's religious evolution. During Padmasambhava's time, Tibet was undergoing a spiritual revolution, transitioning from indigenous Bon practices to Buddhism. The Terma tradition, of which the Bardo Thodol is a prime example, allowed Buddhist teachings to survive periods of persecution by encoding them in symbolic language and hiding them in physical or psychic landscapes. Karma Lingpa's discovery of the text coincided with a resurgence of Buddhist scholarship in Tibet, making it a pivotal work in the development of the Nyingma school, the oldest Tibetan Buddhist tradition. The text's survival and transmission underscore the resilience of oral and tantric traditions, which prioritize direct experiential knowledge over doctrinal rigidity. Philosophically, the Bardo Thodol challenges conventional notions of life and death. It posits that death is not an endpoint, but a transitional phase, a gap in which the mind's true nature, often obscured by sensory distractions, becomes vividly apparent. This intermediate state is framed as a critical opportunity for liberation, provided the deceased can recognize the visions and sounds encountered as projections of their own mind. The text's emphasis on mindfulness, dranpa, and awareness, Shi's rig, during this period reflects its broader aim: to cultivate a state of unbroken presence that transcends even death. For the living, this serves as a reminder to integrate these practices into daily life, transforming mundane experiences into opportunities for awakening. In summary, the three Bardos form a continuum of increasing complexity, each phase building on the previous one's challenges. The Chikai Bardo offers a fleeting glimpse of ultimate reality. The Chonyad Bardo tests the mind's ability to navigate illusion, and the Sidpa Bardo determines the trajectory of rebirth. Mastery of these stages requires not only intellectual understanding, but embodied realization, a synthesis of study, meditation, and ethical living. The Bardo Thodol thus serves as both a warning and an invitation, a warning against complacency in spiritual practice, and an invitation to awaken to the mind's infinite potential. 3. Peaceful and Wrathful Deities, Archetypes of the Psyche. The Bardo Thodol's pantheon of deities, 42 peaceful and 58 wrathful, serves as a profound psychological map, reflecting the interplay of wisdom and delusion within the human mind. These deities are not external gods, but emanations of the deceased's own consciousness, shaped by lifetimes of karma and mental conditioning. The peaceful deities, radiating luminous colors and serene countenances, embody the transcendent qualities of enlightenment: compassion, clarity, and unshakable equanimity. Their wrathful counterparts, with their grotesque forms and fiery auras, symbolize the raw, transformative energy required to dismantle egoic attachments. Together, they represent the dual nature of reality, the interplay of form and emptiness, gentleness and ferocity, that the deceased must navigate to attain liberation. The peaceful deities emerge first in the Chonyid Bardo, appearing in a sequence that mirrors the hierarchical structure of tantric mandalas. At the center sits Vairochana, the white Buddha of the zenith, embodying the wisdom of the Dharmadhatu, ultimate reality. Surrounding him are the four directional Buddhas, Akshobhya, blue east, Ratnasambhava, yellow south, Amitabha, red west, and Amoghasiddhi, green north. Each Buddha is accompanied by a consort, symbolizing the union of wisdom and method, and a retinue of bodhisattvas, dakinis, and protectors. The text describes their arrival as a rainbow light show, with each deity emitting a specific hue and mantra. For instance, Amitabha's red light, associated with the fire element in the wisdom of discernment, is said to purify attachment and ignite the flame of renunciation. The psychological function of these deities is twofold. First, they act as mirrors, reflecting the deceased's latent potential for enlightenment. A practitioner who cultivated love in life might resonate with Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva of compassion, perceiving his white form as a beacon of hope. Second, they serve as tests. If the deceased reacts with fear or desire, mistaking the deities for external saviors or threats, they reinforce the illusion of separateness. The Bardo Thodol repeatedly admonishes the deceased to recognize these visions as self-liberating apparitions, akin to dreams that dissolve upon waking. This recognition requires a lifetime of training in deity yoga, Lairanal Bure, where meditators visualize and merge with deities to dismantle their own rigid self-concepts. The wrathful deities emerging after the peaceful ones are perhaps the text's most misunderstood element. With their bulging eyes, fanged mouths, and adornments of human bones, they seem designed to terrify. Yet their ferocity is not punitive, but pedagogical. Mahakala, the Great Black One, for example, represents the uncompromising destruction of ignorance. His trampling of a corpse symbolizes the triumph of wisdom over the illusion of a fixed self. Similarly, Vajrayogini, a wrathful Dakini, dances atop a sun disk, her sickle severing the threads of attachment. These deities embody the tantric principle that extreme methods are necessary to awaken those trapped in deep delusion. Their terrifying forms are a form of skillful means, upaya, shocking the deceased into recognizing the mind's empty, luminous nature. The Bardo Thodol provides explicit instructions for navigating these encounters. When a wrathful deity appears, the text advises the deceased to think, "This is not an external being, but a manifestation of my own mind. If I recognize its essence, it will dissolve into light." This mantra-like refrain is meant to anchor the consciousness in non-dual awareness. The text also describes specific antidotes. For instance, the roar of Hayagriva, the horse-headed deity, can shatter the illusion of solidity, while the 100-syllable mantra of Vajrasattva purifies karmic obscurations. These teachings underscore the tantric view that even the most horrific visions are expressions of primordial wisdom, yesha, if one has the courage to face them. Modern psychology offers a compelling lens through which to interpret these deities. Carl Jung, in his commentary on the Bardo Thodol, likened them to archetypes of the collective unconscious, universal symbols that arise during periods of psychic upheaval. The peaceful deities correspond to the anima, animus, the soul's nurturing aspect, while the wrathful ones mirror the shadow, repressed fears and desires. Jung argued that confronting these archetypes without projection is essential for psychological integration, a process he termed individuation. Similarly, contemporary trauma therapists use exposure techniques to help patients face and neutralize internalized fears, mirroring the Bardo Thodol's directive to look directly at the deity's face. The text's imagery also resonates with near-death experiences, NDEs, reported across cultures. Many NDE survivors describe encounters with beings of light, tunnel visions, and life reviews, phenomena paralleling the Chikai Bardo's clear light and the Sidpa Bardo's karmic mirror. While the Bardo Thodol frames these experiences through a Buddhist lens, their universality suggests a shared psychic architecture. This cross-cultural overlap has led scholars like Dr. Bruce Grayson to propose that the Bardos represent a neurobiological unplugging of the brain's default mode network, allowing consciousness to perceive realities typically filtered out by sensory input.